going to flip the camera so that you can see the court's website, where you can scroll down and get information about your case, where to send information if you do have questions directly to the courthouse. This is the resources that we're using right now that are free and available to us. Even though it's very difficult to get responses back, sometimes it is helpful because every once in a while, if there is a pressing issue, we can potentially get information to the right person by making sure our subject lines are clear and our responses in those emails are clear, so we get it to the designated person in the court that we've already built relationships with that can potentially help us in facilitating those issues. So let me show you where we're getting our information from on the court's website.
So here's the court's website. As you can see at the top, there is a link in red that will take you to the recent news updates, how to communicate with the court. Obviously, you can see a list of email addresses for your specific requests. We typically use the CRM at sdcourt.ca.gov to send our email requests, but also in addition to the email requests, we like to send other documentation that is date stamped to the court. Also, you can see news release and updates regarding new procedures, any sort of news releases that the court has. As you can tell, on May 22nd, the court effectively told the community that they would begin services or effectuating hearings on May 26th. They had also information regarding the 87,000 cases that they have to reschedule. This was a memorandum put out by our presiding judge here in San Diego. She also goes on and explains the different limited hearings that are going to be conducted during this reopening of the court on May 26. Obviously, making any sort of requests for hearings at the court, you should first and foremost make sure to submit an email directly to the court via the specific email address that are provided to you. But also, in addition, we take it a step further by actually drafting documents that are date stamped so that we can keep an accurate record in addition to the email addresses. So always do both. Submit the email regarding your request, and also submit a written request, and make sure to drop it off at the court's drop box at the specific courthouse where you're requesting that hearing. So at least it's date stamped as well. And this is the information that is extremely helpful.
So to recap, the courts are only hearing in custody matters. It's going to be a while until we hear anybody who has an out of custody case, even though we can start facilitating communications with the district attorney's office, sending mitigation packets, seeing if they're agreeable to a dismissal, or we can start our pre-negotiations prior to your initial court appearance. That's something that we can offer at this stage. As to motions, expungements, we're able to file expungements, early termination of probations. We can't get an actual court date as of yet, but we can file the motions, and then once the court reopens for these hearings, then potentially we can get a court date. But don't expect to have a court date a month from now. It'll probably be 3 to 4 months from now until we get an actual court date for those hearings. Also, any sort of zero bail issues, that's, if the sheriff's department lets you out early, that's the sheriff's department. It's not the court is going to let you out early because of COVID-19. We're hearing a lot of people making that argument in court, especially for sentencings. However, it does not appear, unless there's some sort of reasons under the compassionate release doctrine regarding serious health issues, for individuals to be released early. But I'm yet to see the courts actually follow the defense's recommendations on a lot of these motions. We do get calls on these quite often, but it's very seldom a court will follow the order requested by the defense in order to release those individuals early due to the COVID-19 issues. It's unfortunate. I think it's got to be very circumstantial. Every case has its own specific facts, its own factors to take into consideration. But if you have a family member who is sick in custody and is experiencing symptoms of COVID-19, or people around that individual is experiencing symptoms of COVID-19, and they're elderly, they're more at risk, then there may be an argument to be made regarding compassionate release, and we can file those motions either on the state side or federal side. We file them on both. So if you have questions regarding specifically your case, give me a call. I'm answering my phone during the COVID-19. I'm trying to help people, direct them, give them the resources that they need.